Hello Hacienda La Puente, this is Ricardo, one of your tech bosses, and today we are going to take a quick tour of one of our classes inside of Canvas. Okay, so the easiest way to get to Canvas again is through ClassMate. You're going to sign in. You're going to let us sign in, and you're going to notice that it's automatically going to load Canvas for you. So I'm signed in. Canvas is right here, but you don't have to do anything. You actually are already logged in. And when you come in, you have your dashboard right here. So let's go inside one of our classes today. We're going to take a quick tour of one of our classes. So the first thing you are going to notice is that I have a home page that is set up for my class. And it's just a page that I created. If I go over here and I go to pages, it's just a page that I created and I made it my front page. And in a different video, I talked about how that works, okay? So it's just a page that I created that becomes my home page when my students come in. So this is my home page, and you might notice that I have recent announcements on top of my page, okay? Just to give you an idea, I have a little office form that is embedded that will ask the kids how they are feeling today. So it's just very simple. So far my day is thumbs up, thumbs down, how are you feeling, and so on and so on. So we'll talk about how to create announcements today. But how do I make the announcements show up in the front of my home page? Well, it's very easy. You go to settings, okay? Once you're in settings, in here is where you can change the picture of the card for your class, okay? So all you will do is go in here and choose an image if you wanted to do that. Okay. But right now we are trying to make sure our announcements show up in our home page. So if you scroll all the way to the bottom in settings, there's an option that says more options over here. You want to click on it, okay? And in here you have a option that says show recent announcements and on course homepage. So you want to make sure that that's clicked. And over here you can change it to how many announcements you want to show. I usually have it on 3, so it doesn't scroll down my homepage too much. And then you go ahead and update your course details. So now when your students are in your homepage, just to give you an idea, student view, you can always go to student view on the right here. You'll see that the kids are always seeing those 3 announcements along with my home page. Okay, let's go back to leave student view. So let's go ahead and go over that really quick. So notice how you have home, announcements, discussions. It's going to depend on which apps you have turned on and so on and so on. But maybe you don't want all the kids to see all of this right here, okay? Maybe you want to keep it simple for the kids, okay? So there's a way to do that, okay? So again, let's go back to settings. And over here, under navigation, you can tell your Canvas homepage what to show to the students and what not to show. So maybe I don't want my students to see my files, okay? So I can bring that down. I don't want the kids to maybe see people. I can bring that down, okay? And so on and so on. So keep it as simple as you can for the students. I'm going to save this, okay? So now you're gonna notice that all of this is still available for me over here, okay? But if I go to student view, just really quick. So I think I want to save this. Don't forget to save it, okay? So it's saved. So let me go back to home. But now if I go to student view, you will notice that the kids only see the different pages or the different sections that I have allowed the kids to see, okay? So that's how you change that part, okay? Let's leave the student view, okay? So let's kind of go down the list right here. So announcements, okay? You've seen that I created some announcements on here, okay? I can go click on them and edit if I want to. And let's kind of go ahead and create a new announcement. Okay, you give it a topic. Meet in Zoom today, for instance. Okay, you have the rich text editor, and we are going to spend a whole video on how to use this. But over here, you will give maybe directions to the kids. Okay, please meet at the link provided. Never give your address or your whole your whole address for Zoom. We'll show you how to set up your Zoom so the kids don't know how that is even there. You see it right here. We'll talk about that on a different video. But over here, so I'm ready. Post to, I can post to all of my sections, so just to my Spanish 2 class. That's completely up to me. If I have any attachments, I can add them in here. Okay, and you also have the option to delay posting, so it shows up at a different time if I want to do that. Okay, you can allow the users to comment. So for announcements, if you want the kids, maybe it's a way for you to have our kids check in. Okay, so maybe it's like, how are you feeling today? Just check in, and this is the way the students are checking in. Okay, users must post before seeing replies. So I like having that on, so the students just don't copy someone else's answer. They have to reply before they see their classmates' replies. And then don't worry about this one, and you can allow like if you want to, and then you will save it, and then notice that an announcement is going to be set right on top now. Okay, right there. Okay, so that's how you're gonna do that. I'm going to delete it. I don't need this announcement right here. Okay, so that's how you do announcements. Okay, discussions. So how do we do discussions? So maybe for my Spanish class, I created one. Why would you like to learn a new language? And what I did is I just have a quick question. I took a TED video in here. Please watch it and then give me reasons, and then the kids can reply. Okay, so how do we do discussions? Again, we're gonna go to the top right. There's an option to do discussions in here. Again, you give it a title. Okay, question of the day, maybe, right? On the which text editor, you do your instructions. Again, you can select where to send it. Okay, over here you can choose a file. If you needed to attach something in there, you can do that. Okay, and then notice that I had a video actually embedded in there. Okay, how did I do that? Well, in the rich text editor, you can come in here, and if you go all the way to the right, over here you have apps. Okay, and then when you go to apps, I have turned some stuff on that you probably don't have turned on yet. Equation format. Okay, my Twitter is in here, Vimeo is in here, but I also have YouTube. So if I click on YouTube, now I have the option to search for a YouTube. I don't know, let's do something for Spanish, something progressive in Spanish maybe. Okay, so I'm going to click and I'm going to look for it. Okay, and then now I have a lot of different options, and I can embed any of these videos. Okay, so let's go ahead and embed this one right here. Okay, another video is in there, and now I have the same options, right? Allow replies. User must post before seeing replies. I like that one on always. Okay, if you want this to be graded, maybe it's with 2 points so that kids complete, or maybe 1 point, completely up to you. You can add a grade in here. Okay, and you can give it the points, right? And then you can sync to Aries if you want to. Okay, and then if you have set up your assignments, you can tell it which assignments it belongs to, assignments, essays, quizzes, whatever it might be. You can require peer review, assign to everyone. You can assign it to just a student, a group, and so on and so on, and the due dates that you have. And you save, or you can save and publish. The moment you save and publish, the kids can see this. Okay, so I'm going to save and publish. Okay, and notice that it's right there. Okay, so here's a new discussion. Sorry, I'm in discussions, right? And I call it the question of the day, and that's how you create your DOS. Okay, I'm going to delete that just because I don't want to keep it there. Okay, and then you have your modules in here. Okay, and then this is basically a group of assignments put together. You could have videos, you can have quizzes, you can have assignments where the kids are typing answers, you can have Google Documents, Office 365. I'm going to show you how Google assignments work on a later video. If you are a Google Classroom lover, you will love Google assignments. It's basically the same thing. They can stream out of Google Classroom, but you are going to create these modules, and I will spend some time teaching you how to create a module if you want to later on. Yeah, you'll see that I have a lot of them in here, and we'll talk about how each of them work, and we'll talk about how you can just show the one that you want the kids to work on. So notice that I only have one published right now, and it tells you the green little check marks tells you that's the one the kids are going to see when they go to my assignment. So if I go to home, just to give you an idea, okay, and I have a button for that assignment, present progressive. When the kids click on it, the kids know exactly where it's going to go, and it's going to take them to the one that is open for them. Okay, so please watch our video on modules. Okay, I created a virtual classroom Zoom button. where my kids are going to just basically click on it, open in a new tab, and when they open it, you'll notice that the zoom option comes up. I will teach you how to do that too on a different video. I just want to kind of show you that. Assignments. Okay, so over here, I have assignments. Okay, and what I've done, just to give you an idea, okay, before I've done the assignments, okay, I actually added type of assignments. So I've already added discussions, quizzes, external tools, and so on and so on. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that. Okay, so let's do a new assignment. Okay, so we give it a name. Vocab review on the Spanish feature, so I'm kind of going back. Our rich text editor, right? Please review our words, right? In here. Okay, and you have many options in here. Okay, you can attach something using an external tool if you want it from your drive, and we'll spend some time talking about that. Assignments, by a video on assignments. Okay, the points, right? Which group do you want to put them on? The grades, and so on and so on. What type of submission do you want for the assignments? Okay, so maybe you just want the kids to just type some text. Maybe you want them to provide a website for you. Maybe you want them to record a video, or maybe you want them to upload something for you. Okay, so you can do it this way by default. That's online, but you also have other tools on paper. So maybe the instructions are here, but you're actually having the kids submit it on paper, and then you have external tools. And again, I'm going to do a whole video on assignments. But on external tools, you have a lot of options, okay? And don't be scared if you don't see CK12 or Flipgrid. You might just see Google Drive Cloud assignment. We have a Google Assignments, which I will spend some time on it. I have Kami and so on and so on. You have to turn these apps on. And in the video for assignments, I will teach you how to do that, okay? So submission attempts, they can be limited. If you want to sync to Aries again, and then you have assigned to everyone, which is a couple of students, and due date, and so on and so on, and you save and publish, and that assignment becomes a part of your class. Over here you have grades. So once your students are loaded, you will see your student, and you will see all of the assignments, and you can do grades and so on and so on. We'll also do a complete video just on grades and how that part works for you. Okay, conferences. So you can set up appointments with students using conferences. It looks like my, here it goes. So I can just create a new conference in here. Okay. Spanish 2 conference. What type am I use? Big blue button is by default. Okay. How much time? You can change this to use Zoom if you want to use Google Meets, to use Microsoft Teams, which is actually embedded in our Canvas. Enable recording if you want to, no time limit, and then the description. Okay, and you can invite all course members, and you can remove all course observer members. So maybe if you don't want the parents to be in this type of conference, you can do that just for the kids. Okay, but if we set up the virtual Zoom classroom option, you probably might not need conferences, but it's up to you. Collaborations. Okay, so how do we start with collaboration? I don't have students yet, so I can show you how to do it yet, but we can show you how you can put them in groups and how you can actually use it from Google, from Office 365. So let's go to Google in here. It's going to open my Google, okay? And I can collaborate with people, and I can collaborate with kind of documents and so on and so on. We won't spend time there. We have people in here, which is just my students and teachers, whoever is part of your group. You have all of your files. If you have added files, you will see all of your files in your class. All of my PowerPoints are there, and so on and so on. Okay. If you are using the syllabus, this just shows your assignments, the course summary as you create things and add things to your class. Okay. We talked about pages. Pages are very, very important. Okay. So I have a page as my home page, but you actually can create pages for many, many things. Okay. And I will show you how to create pages and how to use them in a different video. I just want to give you an idea. We can talk about outcomes later on. Okay. Any quizzes that you create are going to be here. And we are definitely going to spend some time talking about classic quizzes and new quizzes on a different video. Okay. So we'll see how that works. Okay. And finally, we have settings. When you go to settings, we talk about course detail, the image, how you can change the image on your card that you see on front of the class. I'm not going to change it, but I wanted to show you that. So let's go back to settings. Okay, You have the name of the class, the course code, and there's other options in here that you probably are not going to touch, but you do have on the bottom what I showed you about the announcements. Okay, sections, maybe you're teaching more than one period of the same section, the same class, so you have that in here. Navigation, I showed you how to change things and how to hide things from students over here. I'm going to move my people back in here and my files back in here. Okay, I'm going to save that right now just to have it the way I had it at the beginning. And then you have apps, and I really have to spend a whole video on apps. We will spend a whole video on it, but I will show you how to set up the most common ones. And then notice that I have CK12, I have Flipgrid, and so on and so on. So we'll show you how to use that. And finally, the feature options. If you're an elementary teacher, there is a great tool over here. Let me find it right now. Where do you go? Let's see. I'm gonna find it really quick. It changes the fonts. Yeah, Canvas Elementary theming. So if you turn that on, it will change the fonts and make it more appealing for the little ones. There's another great tool here, Mastery Pads, that if you turn that on, it would actually help you differentiate in the modules depending on how a kid does an assignment. You can send them this way or you can send them that way. Maybe they took a quiz and they got a great score, so they go this way, but maybe someone needs a little bit of reinforcement, so they come this way. So we'll spend a whole video on Mastery Pads. But that's pretty much a tour of what is inside one of the classes and what everything looks like in Canvas. And again, once you get used to it, it'll be very, very simple. If you have any questions, please contact any of your tech process. Have a great day.